Welcome to my channel. If you've been following my videos for a little while, you'll know that I've been doing a series of videos on how to decorate your own background card. And this piece of card here I did using some paste grain paint and just scratching textures into it. So I'd like to show you a card that I'm making today for a man, for a birthday or a special occasion. And you will see quickly how you can make use of this card. So I've got some 160 grams white card, and I have some background colors which I've cut to various sizes, and I will show you what I'm going to do. So now with this piece of card here, I'm going to be making a little bow tie, which will ultimately look like that. Okay, so this will be for something formal, and in order to do this you need to trace yourself onto your card 5 by 8 centimeters rectangle, and then you take your ruler and you draw a line from one corner across to the other so that you're actually creating sort of too many diamonds. When you come to cut this out, you want to actually cut slightly broader than the line you've drawn, because otherwise this little point here in the middle is going to be very, very thin and floppy. So if you take this sort of arrow line here and just exaggerate it slightly, cut slightly wider so that you don't have something that's going to twist and break in the middle. Okay, then you're going to need a strip of card. It's about 1.5 centimeters by 5 centimeters long, and this will make the little tab at the beginning. So what I've done on my card before I start is I've actually put some double-sided tape down, and then on my little tab that's going to go around here, I've also got some double-sided tape. So you'll see now that that is actually going to create quite a nice center there. So to do that, I'm going to seal it now. I'm just going to peel off the double-sided tape, and I like to flick the edges up with my blade because it's just easier for me. And then I'm just going to secure it. And because the card is slightly thicker there, that's actually rather nice because it's going to create a little bit of depth. Okay. So I've pre-prepared my backgrounds, and this is how we're going to layer it up. I've cut a band of black card, that's the width of my white card, and then a slightly smaller silver one, and we're going to put the bow tie on there. Okay, so that's going to look like that. And then I have a piece of black card here, and I've layered up some silver, black, and a little sentiment, and that's going to go underneath. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to first of all start sticking the layers together, and you'll see that once you've actually got these pattern background cards that you make for yourself, they create such interesting different cards because they're not commercially printed. Each one is unique in its own, and even if you have a print that comes out of one of your patterns that you've made, you're not too happy with it, don't worry, because once you start cutting it up into different shapes, then you'll find that it doesn't matter, you just get an overall impression. Okay, so I'm using my cutting mat grid here. Sorry, let me move this up so you can see it. I'm using my grid so that I can see that I'm more or less equidistant. I used to be so good at lining things up, but now that I have to wear glasses, it's not as easy. I suppose it's just an age thing. Anyway, this is, as you can see, is not a difficult card to make. It's something that you could do well in advance, and as I say, very nice for a formal occasion for a man or woman. Instead of doing a bow tie, you could do a regular tie, or if it was for a lady and you had the right kind of background, you could do even a cutout of a dress. Okay, so once again here I'm going to line up my card on my grid, and this really helps me just to make sure that I'm getting my card in the right position. And I just need to move this over slightly. Oopsie. There we go. Like that. And now I'm going to just peel off the double-sided tape which I have on my bow tie. And I find that's quite nice to produce all the prep work beforehand. You can do this if you're just watching a podcast, or perhaps you watching TV. Just do your cutting out, and the assembly then goes very, very quickly because you're not so aware of the time. You know, it's not going to take an awful lot of time to do this. Oh, stuck that one underneath my thing. Okay, so here goes my bow tie. more or less in the center here, like so. Lastly, just sticking my layers up for my sentiment. And when you have a stash of card like this, it really does help you out if you get invited somewhere to an occasion at the last minute, because then you're not caught short. Okay, so for this one, I just want to make sure that I'm equidistant here. There we go, like so. And just the last section, peeling this off. Voila! So we're now going to pop this last little bit in the middle, and we want to be fairly centered at the bottom here. There we go. So I'm really happy with that. A nice little card for a formal birthday or something like that, and something that you can easily do using hand decorated card. So there you go, not difficult at all. Okay, if you want to know how to make this card, then please just have a look at my playlist under the decorated papers. There are lots of videos about that. Bye for now.